winners 2014. Our guest here today is defending KHSAA State Wrestling Champion from Woodford County. If you would, introduce yourself.
Nathan Boston, Woodford County.
Now, if you haven't watched his 2013 video, you need to go back and check it out, but just kind of catch you up. At this point, he's a two-time state champion from two different states, Indiana and Kentucky. And, of course, you're a senior in 2014. And what's cool about this year is you are nationally ranked. Kind of give us the story behind that.
Yep. So at this point in my career, going into my senior year, I'd been top 3 in the country all the way through up to, and then actually in my 2013, my junior year, after I lost the number 2 kid in the country, they dropped me down to a number 11. So I had to kind of build my way back up, and I actually got a chance to go out and wrestle at Flow Nationals, wrestled Nick Piccinini in the finals there, wrestled 3 or 4 other ranked guys, and build myself back up to, at that point, I believe I was number 3, number 2, and then Flow actually invited me out to an event called Who's Number 1, where the number 1 and number 2 guys in the country will wrestle each other for the number 1 spot in the country, and I was a part of Bubba Jenkins' team for that, and wrestled Sean Russell, who ended up wrestling at Edinburgh, then Minnesota. He's All-American for them, and ended up beating him, and at the time was the longest match in high school history. So at this point in my career, I was ranked 1st in the country.
And you are the only Kentucky wrestler to ever be ranked number 1.
Yeah.
And that is pretty cool that, you're doing the video with us. We've got your match, state finals, but it's cool that you're ranked, number 1. There might be a handful of people like Jacob Merton, from Lawrence County.
Stud.
Isaac, if he grew up in this time, able to go to more tournaments, he may have been able. Isaac Knable, St. Xavier, a couple other people across the board. Livingston, maybe.
Austin Myers, 100%.
Austin.
I think Austin Myers is one of the best pound for pound.
Austin, absolutely. JoJo, I know JoJo was in the USA Wrestling Magazine, listed as the number 1, but I don't know if he was actually. I think that was just their publication.
It was. So for USA Wrestling, they do your All-American and stuff like that. So, but no, that's. And I think the one thing that has changed a lot is the access to how easy it is to find results for everyone. Now,
exactly.
Nowadays, and find tournaments and nowadays you can call people out really easily. Say hey, where are you going to be at? I'm going to come find you. I'm going to wrestle you. So that's the cool part about social media of today's time.
Talking about being able to find stuff, being a referee, sitting in coaches meetings before track, you'd have coaches get up and do their seeds. My kid's 117-0, kind of like Hickson Gracie. Said he was 400-something 0, but we know he had one loss to Ron Tripp. But you coaches would be like, my kid's 66-0, 64 pins, and Coach, we've seen your kid lose 5 times in a day. Well, those are exhibitions; those don't count. So it's good though. They actually have concrete evidence that you were the only Kentucky wrestler ever to be ranked number 1. It's awesome that we have, you here today doing this video. But I asked this question to everybody. Not necessarily your national tournaments, your off-season tournaments, but in Kentucky, people know because Facebook's a thing, Twitter's a thing. Yeah. Everybody has access to information. You're also a returning state champion. Like when you went into a gym, you went to a tournament, no matter if it was a Tuesday night duel at whatever school or the state tournament, did you feel like you were getting people's best shots, no matter if they were the state champ level or state chump level?
I want to say that I was probably I want to say that there's variables to this, but overall, if you looked at the mass majority, I think I was getting people's worst.
Oh, really?
I think that it was one of those things where with any kind of rankings, it's really easy to get in kids' heads. Like I'd go out and wrestle somebody and they'd either overthink it and do something dumb, or they were wrestling super scared. So that kind of stuff, or they're trying to keep it close versus attacking, which at the one thing this entire 2014 year, I was actually planning on, I was going to sit this entire season out and go and train at the OTC, but we actually thought we were going to have a very good chance to win a team state title this year, and some skin check issues came up with some guys that I personally think would have walked through their weight classes, and They were peaking just right, and then some skin check stuff came up, and we didn't get to do that. But just my first tournament, we had 5 duels, and I had 3 people to forfeit to me.
Oh my!
And then the other 2 people, the coaches would come over and just be like, "Hey, just take it easy." And like, no matter who you are, like at a certain point, you feel like you're wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was literally my first experience going into my senior year, and it kind of almost broke me. I was super innocent kid. Like I was like, did I have the mindset I'm better than everyone? Yeah, because I was trained harder than everybody. I did the right things in practice. I did 4 workouts a day. I did private lessons with JoJo in the morning, and then I'd lift with Joey Roberts before that in the morning, and I'd do a practice at Woodford, and then I'd do another practice with Devon Clay. So I was doing every single thing right, and so you have to have that mindset to some extent. But at the end of the day, I still wanted to go out there and have fun and actually get to wrestle people. So this was a really weird season for me.
That's something, like talking about coaches coming up to you. And as a referee, I mean, you can tell a kid's first meet or whatever, and they're just knowing that you got an animal coming at them. I'll go over to the kid and be like, I don't say kid, but the rest are like, hey man, win, do what you got to do, go easy. Because then you're looking for, like somebody's not trying to like really hurt somebody, but you can tell like somebody's got a bar in, they don't look, the bottom person doesn't know what's going on. Hey, easy.
Yeah,
easy.
No, and that's the one thing I think. There's a certain level to this. I think with me being a senior here, I was a lot more mature than obviously my freshman, sophomore, and probably even my junior year. And but it's like you can quickly tell like I wasn't really a punk. Like if I was never gonna hurt anybody by that means.
I got you. I understand.
Like if I was gonna be beating a kid that bad, I could do it in a lot of ways other than being a punk about it. So that was one thing that was just like a weird area for me. And but yeah, I definitely think. Back to your question is, I don't really think I got the best of most people. I think that it was people were wrestling very, very scary versus actually coming at me and attacking. Like I think if they did that, I don't know if they would beat me by any means, but I think that it would have made it a more entertaining match versus me just trying to chase everyone down for a full season.
I completely understand it. In case you're wondering, I'm not checking my phone here. I'm pulling up his bracket. I just didn't print them off today. So let's go through your bracket here real quick. The first round, you're wrestling Brad Colwell. I think it's either Perry County or Pike County Central. It says PCC. It's either Perry County or Pike County Central. You win that by fall in 2 minutes, 57 seconds. Second round, you're wrestling Jake Peace from Walton, Verona. You win that, looks like, by fall in 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Then you're wrestling an old foe, looks like, Beets. Michael Beets from St. Xavier. You win that by fall in 1 minute 40 seconds. You get to the semifinals, and is it December?
Robbie, yep.
From Union County. You win that by a tech fall, 22-7. So that's pretty cool. You get to the finals, and you're wrestling Logan Erdman from Ryle. And of course, we're not going to tell you what happens, but you can kind of use your imagination with the trend the past 2 years. So of course we've got it. Now this has the face-off. And it has I don't think this one has the awards on it. Maybe it does. I don't remember when I edited it. It's been so long ago. But also this year, you got to share the mat room at Woodford County with former, or I guess future, as it is filming now, it's kind of, he's graduated, but NCAA champion from Iowa State. David Carr. And actually, David has reached out. We're going to do his through Zoom. He's doing the camps, and I think he just competed at like the Worlds or Pan Ams or something.
Open tournament in Poland.
That's it.
Fantastic.
That's it. In Poland, and it's just whenever his schedule kind of frees up from his international schedule and his camps and all that, we're going to do a Zoom and do his video because he has an incredible match. That I was at this state tournament, and at the time didn't really know who David Carr was, but now it's cool that we have the video. And this is the last 2014 is one of the last years I've acquired, and as soon as I got it, message Nate, says, hey man, I've got your 2014 and we got to get together now and do both of them. So got that, and there's some great wrestling on it. You had also Brock Irvin, you had Austin Myers. I mean, 2014 was a really good year for wrestling.
I personally think this was probably the best year in Kentucky history, and I don't think that anyone that's argued, I think they're crazy. I just don't see how you could do that. We had Sean Faust here, we had Brock, we had me, you can count David Carr as well, But I mean, I think the big one you got to count here also is Blackwell,
Yeah.
like how good he was.
Yep.
I mean, he was a top 20 guy in the country.
Mm-hmm.
We also had Bryce Sheffer, who obviously one of the best ever out of Kentucky.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I love that kid to death. Fantastic kid, and worked super hard. Probably the nicest kid ever. Actually, got to see him a couple weeks before the accident.
Right.
We actually dueled SIUE when I was at Campbell, and kid as happy as could be. I love that kid.
Yeah.
But no, this even from top to bottom, this was a fantastic year. There was a ton of studs, lower weights on all the way through. I mean, I think Woodford County had 3 or 4 state champions this year, and we had
was it Tucker Hurst?
Tucker Hurst. You had me. You had
Carr,
and then I believe this is the year that Maxine Drioni had the skin checks, and I think Max would have won it this year as well. And me and him were that was my training partner,
Okay.
and I just really didn't see anybody that was going to be able to wrestle with him at that weight class. And I think he was ranked 6th at that point, but he had already beat the number 1 guy that year.
The next year, Max wrestles Jordan Blanton in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
I think he comes up a little bit short against Jordan, but Max, we've reached out to Max. I think he's going to do his 2018. It's just getting up with him. There's a lot of you Woodford County guys to get with.
Yeah.
We know you guys have a laundry list of guys you want us to get with, and we've reached out to a bunch of them. We were able to find another video for Harrison Courtney. Going to be getting with him. So the Woodford County, the Yellow Jacket Hive is buzzing, and we're just trying to get up with everybody, get everybody a fair shake. We want to make sure that it doesn't interfere with their work life or family life. We're trying to do this on their time because they're doing this to help us out. So the Woodford County crowd, just trust me, we're going to get some of your favorites. It's just the fact of getting up with them. Enough of us talking. We're going to put this video on, go back to 2014, and watch Nathan win another state championship. We're back again at the Kentucky Horse Park, the All-Tech Arena in Lexington. And this, of course, we're going to watch the face-off, and then it's going to go straight into the match, man. Let's do it.
History could be made tonight. Brock Urban out of Union County looking for his
No blonde hair on this year.
state championship.
No blonde hair on this
State
year.
history. First in state
I was
history.
very ready to get to college at this point. That was the big thing.
I can understand.
I just didn't really. I just didn't really care about a whole lot. I knew that for me, the best thing I could do for Woodford County at this point was go out there and score as many team points as I could. So with the hair thing, I just didn't commit to it.
I get it.
Chance to look at the nation's best in Nathan Boston.
And these shoes right here are some OG Inflicts, and they actually belong to Nate Wheeler now. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I gave those to Nate after I won this match.
And you got Rocky on the whistle. I think that's
Jason.
Jason Sidoris.
He gets the first take.
No, Jason's on the whistle. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Earlman would be red on your score.
And this was the first time that me and Erdman had wrestled, but the match before this, he had a close match with Bobby Pointer from Moore.
Comes out in front for 1-point escape, and Dick, they do that just to kind of get a little.
Yeah, then after the
heat
second
going.
side by right here,
Snap down,
like I was telling you, I could remember every second of this match. I was like, wow, this is like really easy. I'm gonna see how many times I can do this over tie slide by. So if you actually watch at a certain point, I like looked up and I was like, dude, is he gonna let me keep doing this? And he tried to back on me, and then in a second you'll see me just start trying to force it to see if I can keep scoring the same takedown. But yeah, right here, they didn't give me 2 right there, which is.
Come on, Jason.
Yeah, I don't know
what
if
we
that was,
doing?
I don't know if that was 2 or not. I think it was 2. I was all the way behind, but obviously at this point I was just kind of like whatever. I'll just keep going for some takedowns, and but I think this is probably one of the only matches. I don't even know if I shot once in this. I just kept going for the same slide by.
There it is
and,
again.
And easy for headlocks.
Just over a minute. Four matches.
Brock wins most outstanding. Did you win any awards like most pin, least amount of time, or quickest pin?
I believe my 2013 year I did. I may have won it this year, but I don't think I won it this year because of tech fall against. Against December.
That's right.
Really strong tradition.
I want to say Austin won it this year, but yeah, right
Yeah,
there.
that's right. Austin.
I
That's
tried to
right.
throw it there, and when he got the leg, I wasn't really worried. I was
Oh,
really good.
the kid
for
from
Wizard.
Dixie Heights, heavyweight. I believe.
Heavyweight.
Yeah.
I think he won it. I think that Austin didn't win it because he had Brandon Reed, maybe. I don't know if he pinned Brandon.
I think that was.
That's at University of Illinois right now. That's Big Ten wrestling. That's good.
And of course, the announcer's talking about you.
Okay,
right there. Yeah. So again, just went right back slide by again.
Here after one.
Just really tough on his feet, and that's just experience.
That's Rusty talking right there.
Yep.
I think Urban chose top just to see if he could maybe hold Boston.
Was you
down,
surprised
slow
at
him
that?
down a little bit. Let's see what happens.
I chose bottom here.
Oh, you chose
He
bottom.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When he said that, I was confused too, and then I watched it again. So, so right there, I chose. He deferred, and I chose bottom.
Okay, I got you. I was, I guess, paying attention. Oh, 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 oh. There it is. The reversal.
At that point, I
2 more points for Boston.
just the way he was actually he was being aggressive there versus in the first period on his feet he wasn't. So I kind of respected that, and then I was like, all right, I'm just gonna kind of get this over with. So.
Yeah, I got you. There it
There you
is.
go, Rusty.
Fall.
First pin of the night.
Minute 24 left in the second period.
So really impressive by Nathan Boston, his second Kentucky state title.
Yeah, I think the second this match ended, I was like, all right, let's get on in the car and head on to Iowa State. I was pretty done with high school wrestling at this point. Just
No, I can understand.
I was ready to jump on to the next thing, and looking back, obviously, it's always like, oh man, cherish it. But
And there's,
obviously, here we go.
there's
that's David right
David.
there, and about to wrestle Trey.
Yep.
For David
That was
Carr.
awesome match as well.
It does have your medal ceremony.
Yeah.
Very
You
impressive.
know the family really well. What do you think the state championship means to them?
Oh, I mean, it's just another
And
jewel in the family.
They're talking about David's
his cousin,
championship.
Joe Carr Jr.
It's a great. I mean, it's a great story. It's a great match too, like you were saying. It really is. There's Detweiler.
And you know, coming from just an awesome
Everyone, if
Carr family.
you like leather goods, Michael Beets, he does the best leather goods. My belt is actually from
Oh, really?
From Beets. I have my wallet's from Beets. He does custom leather goods. So if you need anything customized, give him a shout out.
You'll have to send me his link, and I'll put it in
I'll
the
send you the
description
link.
below.
Yeah.
The medal presentations for 160
I know this is kind of
Another Woodford County
showy, WWF, all that, MMA, boxing, but I think the state wrestling champion should get a title belt.
You're right.
That would be awesome.
I think we should get anything better than what they were doing at this point. So this was actually the fact that you brought that up. This is a huge complaint for 13 and 14 was obviously we had a bunch of state champs this year, and for me I was like whatever. I lost my medals before I walked through the door, but people were the medals for first place is like the size of like $50. They're super small, and then a couple days later you had like your middle school state, and middle school state had these awesome fat medals, and everyone's just like, what is going on right here? But they had huge brackets. I mean, we didn't get brackets for this, I don't believe. I mean, if we did, I don't know where it's at, but I don't think they gave us brackets. And then we get these little baby medals, and then they got these giant medals for middle school, and it's just trying to figure out what the KHSAA is really thinking. But and I completely understand the side of it that wrestling's not a money sport, but at a certain point, like it's either support or don't.
That's so. Now you've got a chance to watch it. You ended a great high school career. I'm sure you probably finished the year ranked number 1.
Yep.
And that's amazing to have a Kentucky wrestler nationally ranked. Now we done video with Spencer Moore. Actually, both his videos. Spencer was ranked tops, but he never. I don't think Spencer was ranked number 1.
I think it was 4th or 5th. I think.
Okay. And of course, he's at University of North Carolina now, UNC, and we told him that whenever he either wins like the big or the
NCAA tournament.
ACAA or ACC tournament, he places at the national, wins national tournament. Of course, we'll definitely do a video for that with him. Or same thing with his brother. If Ryan wins NAIA this year, he's been there twice in the final. If he wins it, we'll go back and do it. But it's cool, man, to have a Kentucky wrestler ranked number 1. And I would have to imagine that the twins at Union County will probably, if not this year, maybe I don't know. Both of them winning Fargo. The Rainey twins, you had, I think it was Jordan won freestyle and Greco, and then Jaden won
5th and 1st.
Yeah, 5th and 1st. So I would say they have to be either, if they're not ranked number 1, they got to be top 2 or 3. They have to be. There's just no way around it.
No, I was super pumped to watch them wrestle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of those guys that until you prove it that you can be the best guys, I don't take any kind of Kentucky stuff into consideration as far as national ranking wise. Obviously, if you win a Kentucky State title, we all know that you're stud. But as far as I want to see you beat the best guys, and I was talking to some guys, and I was like, man, I'm really pumped to see Jordan and Jaden actually get to go out there and wrestle the best guys and kind of actually put it on the line. And I was super, super impressed with both of them. I think their ability to, which I talk about Kentucky being so unknown, is they went out there and they attacked like they were supposed to dominate every single match. I mean, no matter who they wrestled, they're not there and we're shooting shots. And actually, one of their coaches, Brooks Black, me and him actually grew up in the middle school and high school circuit together. I was actually on Michigan. The Michigan team, and Adam Kuhn was our heavyweight. So every single weekend, I swear it was Adam Kuhn versus Brooks Black. The two best guys in the country were always just battling each other. So at that point, like every time I see him, it's just like I swear Adam Kuhn's gonna be standing over my shoulder, right? Like to start another match. But no, I'm super excited for those guys, and I'm excited to see how they grow and what weight classes they go next year. I know that with Union County being such a dominant team, who knows? The one thing that is kind of weird about Kentucky and getting in the national rankings is sometimes you have to be selfish in a way.
I got you.
Because some people ask, hey, why did you go this way this year? Why did you do this year? And I said, because the only thing I cared about was myself. It's an individual sport. But at the end of the day, if I go to the state tournament and I pin my way through it, I'm helping the team more than anyone else could. So I'm really curious to see if one of those guys go 26 and one goes 13, or one goes 26 and 20 next year, because I think that's really going to be one thing that's going to affect their national ranking. Because as far as the ranking guys look at it, they're going to look at it and say, all right, this guy won Fargo, or this guy won Flow or Super 32 at this weight class, but he made it one time for one event, and then after that he wrestled a weight class above. So that's one thing that I'm curious to see how they look at, because the one that won it at 6, I don't think he'll ever be able to make 6 again, more than maybe one tournament at a time.
Right.
So for national rankings, it's not a one tournament thing. It's a season long thing, or month to month thing. So that's one I'm kind of curious to see how they feather that one in with the fact that he was able to go Greco, which it really depends on what rankings you look to see how they look at that. But I'm really pumped to see those guys come through and kind of bring Kentucky bring some light to Kentucky. And the one good thing about that is I think that they're going to bring other Kentucky guys to light as well, which is a positive as well. Because like my 14 year, we had 5 or 6 guys nationally ranked, and I think you have one guy pop up, and then they're like, who else is in Kentucky? Then you have another guy pop up, and another guy, and I mean, you had Brock Urban make it to the finals at Ironman, and I don't care what anyone says, Brock Urban got absolutely robbed by Valencia. If you guys ever watch that match, you can see it clear as day on Flo's film that Valencia held Brock down by his headgear, and it was probably the worst video proof I've ever seen in my life, and it's sitting right on Flo if you guys want to go watch some exciting matches as far as that's concerned.
Have to check that out. And that's, of course, Brock's a 5-timer. But, yeah, that's great insight on keeping a ranking, and pretty sure that if, the Rainies do stay in Kentucky,
they're going to stay in Kentucky, if anyone's wondering. I already asked their dad. So, hey, I'm holding you to that, man.
Okay.
All right? You're not allowed to let him leave. We need him in Kentucky.
That probably end up be a first 6-timer, and then a 5-timer, because, I mean, if you're at the state tournament this year, they mowed. I mean,
everybody.
They mowed it. I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, I have no disrespect, but it's just the facts. So you may be, I guess now with, them coming in, they get a number 1 rank, I guess you'll move to like grandfather status.
I guess so. I'll take it. I feel like a grandpa, so I'll take it.
What was it, 8 years ago, I guess it would be?
8 years ago, yeah. So about 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago, right around there, yeah.
Become a grandpa in 8 years, grandfathered into the number 1 ranking. You'll have to set them, give them a Werther's original, set them around. Sonny, back when I wrestled, we had, whatever.
For sure.
We wrestled. Wrestling was so bad, we used to wrestle in a horse barn.
Exactly.
It was 5 miles of school uphill both ways.
We used to shoe high crotches, and then dust would go in our eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People had to forfeit because of horse dander. That's all we got. I can't say thank you enough to Nathan for being here and being able to do his 2 matches and give insight into being, number 1 ranked. It's pretty cool to get that on the channel and let people know that, yes, Kentucky did have a number 1 nationally ranked wrestler. And I talked about a second ago, probably going to have more. And I said this earlier, but I want to keep stressing it. If you have videos of the state finals that I don't have, please reach out to me. No matter if it's the full tape, or if you just have like a match of like a family member or somebody you went to school with, whatever the case is, even the face-off, award ceremonies, whatever. We just want to make sure that it is in a safe place and it's in like my personal archive, because I have the largest collection of KHSAA state wrestling videos in existence. Not at the archive, not the KHSAA. Alex Green has the largest. Currently, I have 25 of the 59 years, and I've got some guys that reached out. They said they have some other years I don't have, so gonna put me probably around 29, 30 years. That's a little bit, 50%, a little bit more than 50% there. But we just want to make sure the footage is used so we can get with guys like Nathan, like you saw earlier, doing the Richard Brown Memorial from Trinity, Alex Ray, Ben Vessels I've met with today. We just want to be able to get with guys, be able to tell their story, and put Kentucky wrestling where it belongs, right out in front. We lead from the front. We don't lead from anywhere else but the front. So that's all we got from 2014. It's all we got for Nathan from his 2013, 2014 years. Again, thank you for being here. But Woodford County fans, trust me, there's a lot more of the Yellow Jackets coming, so get your raid out, get your fly swats ready, because you're going to be getting attacked with a lot more Yellow Jackets. The hive is going to be live and well. That's all we got. We'll see you guys on the mats.